much speaking. The decisions sometimes that we make for our children as parents to further our children, at the moment, you feel like you're making the proper decision. You're making the proper decision. There's nothing wrong with the decision that you're making. What I did was, if you remember, I want you to just imagine this, and let's make this relative to where you guys are right now.
Right.
Prophet Lovi has a son, 14 now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He playing ball now. Imagine Prophet Lovi's son getting serious about basketball to the point where he's good. Now Prophet Lovi has a booming church and booming ministry. Like I had a booming church at the time. And he goes, man, you know what? I don't want my son around a certain environment, a certain people, whatever. You know what? I'm just going to coach. I'm going to coach my son myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to coach my son myself. I'm going to start a whole program. So that's what I did. I started a whole AAU program. Initially, I just started a team.
Right.
But it turned to a whole AAU program. So just imagine now, God is telling me to do this, to go this, to do this, to do this. And I'm going to do all of that. But in between, I'm going to go here for the basketball thing, here for the basketball thing,
Wow.
here for the basketball thing. So people would come over to me a lot of times and they would say, Popso, man, you know, you're not the same no more. God is not pleased with the basketball stuff. The Brooklyn in me would say, just shut up and mind your business. You mind your business. I know what I'm doing.
Right.
You know, my son is one of the best basketball players around. Man. He was tough, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my son is one of the best. And so we go to Florida. Okay. Who's the guy in the NFL that's playing this week that's playing for Baltimore?
I'm not sure.
He's one of the best football players in football. He might get the Lamar. So Lamar Jackson is from the program where we was connected to.
Oh, get out of here.
You
said Kwame Brown was connected with that?
No, the latest guy. The guy that plays for Deion Sanders right now. The one that plays two positions.
Okay.
Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter's from. So this program that we were going to do this tournament with, they are big time.
Right.
Big time. So we drive all the way there. I mean, I think Isaiah must have averaged like about 40. It was unbelievable what Isaiah was doing during these games. It was incredible because he's playing against all of these colleges. Just no one could have guarded him. So I'm tired now. I normally, after this Florida trip, I would go to sleep, wake up, and then drive.
Right.
But my wife was with me. I kept saying, I got to get back home, this, that, and the other. So I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep properly. And so we're driving on the border, the border of Florida and Georgia. We get into Georgia. We start driving into Georgia. We were not far from a place called Brunswick, Georgia. And Grace is about 16 of us in a 15-passenger van.
Wow.
My wife is sitting there. Grace is sitting there. They don't have their seatbelt on because they just can't put the seatbelt around both of them.
Wow.
They're both sitting in the front. Grace is right there. So Grace goes, she said she looked at me and I just fell asleep.
Sheesh.
And she said she's tapping me, hitting me. I wouldn't wake up.
Wow.
So she's yelling, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy. I wouldn't wake up. So the car starts going. It goes off of the side of the road and it starts going down the side towards the trees. Somehow when I felt the thing going to the side and I heard, just imagine people screaming to the top of their lungs and they're yelling. Then I wake up. I'm like this. I said, oh, snap. The car's going. So then I'm like hitting the car because the grass is wet. It's early in the morning before the light is really out. And I'm trying to go like this instead of, slamming it to stop it. And so I feel the car slowing down and I'm like, oh man, good. So the car just stops just like this. So I said, we're good. And then all of a sudden it just violently, boom, like that. Yeah, man. And it just started flipping and flipping. And as it's flipping, everybody's screaming and yelling. And then I'm in the seatbelt. And this is exactly what comes to me. I hear, oh snap, you're about to die in a car accident.
Wow.
This I hear, like, this is the first word. Then I start thinking to myself, and even this ties to Africa, but I'm not going to even go into the full story of it. But I start thinking to myself, wait, hold up. I'm not supposed to die in a car accident. So then I go, no, I'm not dying in a car accident. This is not the way I'm supposed to die. And then the car just like that stops.
Wow.
And so then I'm to the side like this. I hear everybody else yelling, screaming, some people moaning. Then I see somebody's legs up in the air like this. I can't explain it. Their legs were up in the air, but this part of their body was stuck underneath something. And they're yelling, help, help. They're like, yo, Pastor, oh, that's Isaiah. So now when they're telling me that this is my son, they're like, help him. And I said, wait, hold up. Isaiah's trapped underneath. I don't know. Somehow I pulled the belt off. I was struggling to get the belt off. Then we go there and we're pulling the legs. We couldn't see who it was. Then we pulled it out. It wasn't Isaiah. It was Marquis.
Right.
I think you remember Marquis.
That's my guy.
Yeah. So remember now, Isaac and all of them was in the back. Isaac was crushed underneath guys 6'5", 6'6".
And he's like 7.
Isaac was like 7. Yeah, 6'7". Yeah. And he's underneath that. So, man, there's too much stuff with the accident. So we get everybody out of the vehicle. And as we get everybody out of the vehicle, I think the last couple of people in the vehicle was me, my wife. By that time, Rob, a couple other cars that got there, they were helping pulling people out. And so when they pull everybody out, I'm like, okay, do I go through this side door up here and get pulled out, or do I just go through the glass? So somebody comes, they smash the glass on the windshield. I walked through it, and I walked out and walked up the hill. When I walked up the hill, Makita was just laid out on the floor like this. And I'm like, looking like, why is she laying on the floor like this?
Wow.
And then she looks at me and goes,
why not dein life?
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
where are we? I'm looking at her. Yeah.
So she had a concussion.
Concussion. She says, where are we?
Your wife.
Yeah.
Concussion.
She says, what happened? And I'm looking like, why are you acting like this for? Why are you acting like? And she looks again. It's going to be okay. And she goes, where are we? Then I looked at her. She had a cut there all the way from here, all the way across. And then her jaw was all the way out. Then she had gash here, gash there. Man, it was crazy, man. Then Destiny,
Your daughter.
my oldest daughter, who's now a prophetess, I seen her walking towards the traffic, like the cars that were coming. So I said, what's Destiny doing? When Destiny saw her mother, Destiny was trying to kill herself.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy, man.
Wow.
Now, Destiny was, when the vehicle was turning, she was tossed out of the vehicle.
Wow.
I looked all of this stuff up. 90% of people that's tossed out of the vehicle, they have all kinds of bodily injuries. Destiny didn't have any injury at all.
Wow. God is.
So it's way more details than this. But for the sake of time, by the time we got to the hospital, it was like newspaper. I said, why are they making such a big deal about this accident? And I found out why. They said to me, did you know that last week there was a 15-passenger van in an accident just like this one? They said no one survived.
Wow.
Everyone in our van survived. No one survived the other one. Wow. They put us on the front page of the thing, 15-passenger van, whatever. And so looking over at the whole story, it's a lot deeper than that. But man, we hit a witchcraft zone, man.
Wow.
That's what we hit when we were there. But where I was at the time, spiritually, where I was at positionally, I just wasn't there
Right.
because I was so wrapped up in the basketball stuff. And so I think you remember we would have, matter of fact, one time we had a game in Maryland. I told you Michael Beasley and Kevin Durant.
Man, they didn't meet you at the train.
And Michael Beasley's uncle Artie came to pick us up at the train station. I went, played the championship game, and just imagine the service starts at 12. I may have held the service up to about 2:30 just for me getting there.
Right.
I would do that on a regular.
I tell you this.
It was crazy, man.
So, for me, one of the biggest traits for me that's important is loyalty.